You open your eyes. Darkness. Not the darkness of night, but something deeper, something unfamiliar. A sound cuts through it. A voice. Close. Warm. Familiar, even though you don't know why. You feel weightless. Your hands don't obey you yet. Your body doesn't feel like yours in any meaningful way. And then something happens that should stay with you forever. You see the world for the first time. Light, faces, movement, emotion. Every second of it should be unforgettable. So why is it gone?
Why does your life seem to start years later, like someone pressed skip on the most important part? And more importantly, where did it all go? At first, it feels obvious. You were just too young to remember. That's what everyone assumes. But that explanation falls apart the moment you look closer. Because babies aren't empty, not even close. They learn fast. They recognize voices, they react to patterns, they adapt to repetition. In fact, they remember more than we give them credit for. But there's a problem. Those memories don't stay. They vanish. Not slowly, not gently, but completely. Like something inside the brain is actively removing them. And for a long time, no one knew why. Then a name appeared in history. Sigmund Freud called it infantile amnesia, the idea that your earliest experiences are somehow locked away forever. But that still didn't answer the real question. Why would a brain capable of learning erase its own memories? Experiments started to reveal something strange. Babies could actually remember, not just in theory, but in action.
In one experiment, researchers tied a ribbon to a baby's ankle connected to a moving mobile above their crib. The baby quickly learned something simple: kick and the world moves, a cause and effect. Days later, those same babies were placed back in the same setup, and they remembered. They started kicking immediately, even without being taught again. So the memory was there, stored, used, recalled, but still it disappeared over time.
So what changed? The answer begins deep inside your brain, a small structure called the hippocampus. It acts like a kind of memory bridge, turning lived moments into something your future self can replay. But in babies, this system is unfinished. Not broken, not missing, just still under construction. The connections that store long-term experiences aren't fully built yet, so memories don't get anchored properly. They float, then fade. But that's only part of the mystery, because even when the structure begins to form, something else is happening at the same time, something destructive.
Inside the infant brain, new neurons are exploding into existence at an extreme rate. This process is called neurogenesis, and it sounds like a good thing because it is. It's how the brain builds itself, how it wires intelligence, how it prepares for life. But there's a hidden cost. Every new neuron doesn't just add something new, it rewires what already exists. And sometimes that means overriding older connections, including memories. So the brain isn't just growing, it's constantly rewriting its own internal map, like updating a city while people are still living inside it, then forgetting where everything used to be. Experiments in animals showed something even more surprising. When neurogenesis increased, memories weakened. When it slowed down, memories stayed longer. So the same process that builds your brain also erases your earliest experiences. But even that isn't the full picture, because memory isn't just about storage, it's about identity. To remember something is your life, you need to understand something very specific, that it is happening to you. And that's where things get even stranger. Before around 18 months of age, babies don't recognize themselves as individuals. In mirror tests, they don't see me. They see another child, another presence, another object in the world. Only later does something shift, a realization that the face in the mirror is not someone else, but them. And that moment changes everything, because without a self, there is no anchor for memory, no character for the story to belong to. Then language enters the picture, and suddenly memory gains structure. Words turn experience into something organized, something narratable, something that can survive time. Before language, life is sensation. After language, life becomes a story, and stories can be remembered. Even culture plays a role here. In some environments, parents constantly describe a child's experiences back to them, turning moments into shared narratives. In those cases, earliest memories appear earlier. In others, memories begin later, not because the brain is different, but because the storytelling around it is. So what happened to your earliest years? They weren't deleted by one cause. They were erased by many forces happening at once. A brain still under construction, a memory system not fully built, a self not fully formed, and a language that hadn't yet arrived to hold it all together. So the infant version of you didn't disappear in a single moment.
It was gradually overwritten by the process of becoming you. This isn't just about memory, it's about identity, because every human goes through this same silent transformation. Everyone you've ever met has a beginning they cannot access, a full chapter of life gone from awareness. Not because it wasn't important, but because something more important was happening, the construction of a thinking self, a brain that could not only experience the world,
but understand that it is experiencing it. So the question wasn't really why can't you remember being a baby? The real question is deeper. How do you build a mind strong enough to remember a lifetime without losing the ability to become someone new? And the answer is unsettling. You don't preserve everything. You trade it. Memory for identity. The past for a self that can carry the future. And maybe that's why your earliest memories are gone, because the thing that replaced them is the reason you can ask the question at all.